Oh, YouTube, it's Redhead Takes again, and here we are. The initial 53-man roster for the Green Bay Packers hasn't officially been released, but we basically know what it is. Hope you enjoy the video. As always, you know where to find me. Twitter, Locals, and Twitch. Now let's get into the video. Sad to see guys like Tyler Goodson and Jack Heflin go. Both have made great plays throughout the preseason. Jack Heflin had some more struggles or so, but Tyler Goodson, I don't know what more he had to do to make the roster. Probably just because he's undersized a little bit, and maybe his lack of blocking build is probably what will win Patrick Taylor the third running back job over Goodson. The Packers have expressed interest to bring Goodson back, so hopefully he's able to make it through waivers. Packers have 28th priority, so maybe that doesn't bode well, but crazier things happened before with their rookies that have, or unsigned free agents that have come up during the preseason and shown well and were able to make it through waivers. Not every player gets claimed on waivers, obviously. So hopefully he will be one and he'll be on the practice squad because he's just shown so much ability and he's just done everything possible he could to get the job. Now on to other positions like wide receiver. I'm glad to see Samori Toure got the job over Jawan Winfrey. I think Jawan Winfrey will probably make it through waivers and make it to the Packers roster. He's been on the Packers practice squad for a couple years, and even though he's shown the ability to possibly make the official NFL roster, I guess he just hasn't shown enough. And Samori Toure just, while may not have the best blocking ability, his just speed and just ability to get open seem to be better than Winfrey's. I guess he had better games throughout. I agree he did. So I guess that means Amari Rodgers makes it too. I never really thought there was any chance for him to be cut. Packers put a lot into him with that third round pick, and he didn't completely shit the bed to warrant him not making the roster. So there it is. On the offensive line, all the names that you could have expected made it. Although it is interesting to see that Rasheed Walker made it. I don't remember watching him closely in the last game, but he did only play in the one game, and boy did he show that he could be a quality offensive tackle. And it really means that Goody just has faith in the guys he drafted. I mean, you see every year from teams that even no matter where you're drafted, I guess you're never guaranteed a spot. I guess we always assume that if you're the first, second, or even the third round that you will make the roster regardless. Although we've seen in the past, a couple years ago, they had drafted Jawan Moore in the 4th round, and he was cut after his first preseason. And I don't think he ever played with any other teams, or if he did, he just bounced around in practice squads and isn't in the league anymore as far as I know. And it's good to see Rasheed Walker. When I saw some tape of him in college, he just looked fierce. I think he was supposed to originally go in the 3rd or 4th round, and he fell all the way to the 7th, so Packers definitely recognize that and see that he has the ability to be a quality offensive tackle, and the Packers need lots of that. Lots of backup offensive linemen ready to step up, especially since we don't know how long Bakhtiari will last. Hopefully he lasts, and he can get back to some resemblance of what he has been in the past, but I'm not going to hold my breath. But I really hope he comes back because Bakhtiari being solid in the left tackle position is probably the glue that could hold that team together for a potential Super Bowl run. And yeah, that's probably a homer take, but I don't care. I still recognize that no matter how good they look, they can always lose in the playoffs, and they've done that repeatedly. So I'm used to it at this point. Nobody can really badger me about the Packers losing. I'm fully aware about it, and if you do, you just look like a jackass, because especially that goes for you Vikings fans. I mean, what do you have in your whole franchise history? You have 4 Super Bowls, 4 Super Bowl losses, and one of your only other claims of fame is that one of your players injured Aaron Rodgers and took him out for a long time. So I can throw that back on you, but I won't, because I'm a better person than you are. But anyway, to continue on with the roster, his quarterback, I always figured it would be Rodgers and Love, of course. Running back, like I said, it's sad to see Tyler Goodson go, but I think he could possibly make it through waivers and be on the practice squad for sure. So it looks like it's going to be, of course, Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, Kylan Hill when he returns, and then Patrick Taylor. Hopefully Kylan Hill can show anything like he did last year, because up until he got injured, he showed the ability to return kicks very well, and he's a great cutting back. He's a good blocking back too, and you just don't see that kind of talent fall that far in the draft, where he was selected in the 7th round. And wide receiver, of course, what I thought would make it, of course, Lazard and the rest. Like I said, Jawan Winfrey, it's sad to see him go, but I think he'll make it through waivers. Amari Rodgers showed enough to warrant a spot, and of course Amari Toure. And then defensive line, of course, and defense in general, of course, their 2 top draft picks, Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt, made it. And it's good to see Isaiah McDuffie make it, because he had to. He's just a wrecker throughout the preseason. Good to see Chris Barnes is back, because even though he hasn't always shown it, he's shown enough time after time to warrant a roster spot again. And it's good to see the old legend. It sounds like Mason Crosby will be activated and make it and be there on opening day. Hasn't missed a start ever. Will be his 242nd consecutive start, and he's a goddamn legend. One of the best to ever do it in recent decades. And I guess that's all I have to say about the Packers roster. Like I said, I always am cautiously optimistic about the Packers whenever I go into the season, just because you never know what you're going to get. And even though we expect excellence, we get it in the regular season, but we don't seem to get it in the postseason time after time, unfortunately. I guess it's just one of the things as a Packer fan you have to get used to, and I certainly have gotten used to it. I mean, it doesn't stop it from hurting whenever it happens, but it gets a little less painful every time, just because you learn to expect failure, and sad to say, I've learned to accept it. Although I think this team can be different. Like I said in my past videos before, losing Davante Adams may hurt initially, but in the long run will be very beneficial for Rodgers and the Packers as a whole, just because Rodgers will have to depend on other guys than just one person, allowing other teams to scheme for just that one person, double and triple cover them, and also it'll save them a lot of money. I mean, the Packers are still going to be in a cap crunch probably next year because of all the money given to Rodgers, but look at the Raiders. I mean, they paid, I remember seeing a stat, they paid over $242 million to 5 guys this year. It's insane. And like just from between Carr and Adams alone is just huge. Don't want to go on a Raider tirade here, but they're going to be far worse off than the Packers, because they play in a much more difficult division based on paper, and the Packers basically have a guaranteed playoff berth every year because the rest of the NFC North sucked. And yes, suck it Vikings fans, suck it Bears fans, suck it Lions fans, Packers are the best, and they will repeat again as NFC North champions. You can make fun of me all you want if they end up losing. I mean, if the Packers don't make the playoff, it's probably because Rodgers got injured, and it's just like, if you lose your starting quarterback in this week for anybody, chances of you making the playoffs are not very good, no matter who you are. So I can just chalk it up to an Aaron Rodgers injury. So that's all I have to say. As always, if you disagree with my opinions on anything, let's hammer it out in the discussion or the comment section or the other fine social media platforms that I will have posted in the description. As always, if you like my content here, remember to subscribe, hit that bell notification twice to get all my notifications, because why wouldn't you? If you like some of my stuff, you probably like most of my stuff. And as always, have a great day, and God bless.